Hello and welcome to What the F Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Friday, September 17th, 2021. Welcome to day 241. An FDA advisory panel rejected a plan to offer Pfizer Covid-19 booster shots for everyone 16 and older. Members of the FDA's Vaccines and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee voted 16-2 against approving the booster shot after scrutinizing new data coming out of Israel and questioning whether the data justified boosters for the general population, especially when the current vaccines still offer robust protection against severe COVID-19 disease and hospitalization. The panel did, however, recommend booster shots for older Americans and other people in high-risk groups. The votes are non-binding, and the FDA is expected to make a final decision on booster shots by early next week. An outside advisory panel to the CDC has also scheduled a 2-day meeting next week to discuss plans to distribute the booster shots within the United States. Meanwhile, the United Nations warned that the global average temperature is on track to rise 2.7 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the world is on a catastrophic pathway. Based on the most recent commitments to curb greenhouse gas emissions from 191 countries, if implemented, would only result in a 16% increase by 2030 compared to 2010 levels. The latest scientific research suggests that greenhouse gas emissions need to decrease by at least 25% by 2030 in order to avert the worst impacts of global warming. Gutierrez warned that there is a high risk of failure. Moving on, the Pentagon admitted that the August 29th drone strike in Kabul, which killed 10 civilians, including 7 children, was a tragic mistake. General Frank McKenzie, head of the U.S. CENTCOM, apologized for the error, saying that the decision was made in an earnest belief that it would prevent an imminent threat to our forces and the evacuees at the airport. The car was believed to have been carrying explosives in its trunk. McKenzie said, "We now assess it is unlikely that the vehicle and those who died were associated with ISIS-K." And finally, the U.S. Capitol Police withdrew a request for 100 armed National Guard members to be on standby for a rally at the Capitol in support of the rioters who were charged in the January 6th insurrection. Instead, Guard members will be armed with batons and accompanied by armed police officers in a support capacity. A fence has also been erected around the Capitol. The so-called Justice for J6 rally, organized by former Trump campaign strategist Matt Braynard, supposedly wants to bring awareness and attention to the unjust and unethical treatment of nonviolent January 6 political prisoners. Roughly 60 people have been denied bail and remain in pretrial custody out of the more than 600 who were charged in the deadly riot on January 6th. And in the polls, the Public Religion Research Institute says 59% of Americans blame white supremacist groups, 56% say they blame Trump, and 55% say they blame conservative media that spread conspiracy theories and misinformation for the January 6th riot at the Capitol. 34% of Americans agree that Trump is a true patriot, while 63% disagree, including 49% who say they completely disagree. And Reuters says 44% of Americans approve of Biden's job performance, the lowest level of his presidency so far. 50% disapproved, and the rest were not sure. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.